What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good? What's up, people? It's me. I'm L3027. You know who I am.
Thundercats are on the move. Thundercats are loose, honey.
He's about the business of dipping spoons into sugar bowls. Anyway, real girls do real things. So as to make it easier for insertion, maybe?
No means no, and yes means no.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What's up, what's up, what's up? What is up? It is me, L3027, and I am back for yet another review. This, ladies and gentlemen, will be our review for... This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It is season 15, episode 2. It is entitled Sisters Before Misters. Shout out to all my Deuce Clubs since this is episode 2. Anyway, so let me say this about this episode. So last season was the first season ever where I almost kind of tried to like Kenya. I cannot stand Kenya. She gets on my last nerves. She has aggravated me since the first season she was on this show. But last season, more than any other season, there were many times where I was like, okay, I can kind of see why people might like her. Where I was, easing up on her and how much I couldn't stand her. And now we're right back where we were, Kenya. You ain't shit, Kenya. We're right back to where we were to begin with, Kenya. I can't stand her. And here we are. We start off where we left off at the end of last episode. We are still at Ross's 40th birthday party. Kenya and Sheree are still over there huddled up talking about the DM stuff. Meanwhile, Candy and Courtney are still over there arguing. Sonya's over there and Marlo's over there. Let me get that one out of the way first. That one was much ado about nothing. I mean, Candy did what she always did. She tried to buck up like she's gonna fight. Girl, you're not fighting nobody, Candy. You are not that girl. Nobody's afraid of you, Candy. Girl, please, please, please. Don Juan come over there, talk about, because whatever he called her, whatever, trying to act like Candy was gonna do something. Don Juan, go sit your ass the fuck down. I shouldn't say that, because I did meet Don Juan, and he was real nice to me. See this picture? So yeah, we met. It was cool. At Old Lady Game actually, but Don Juan, this ain't the time for you to be. This ain't it. Anyway, love you down, but Don Juan, this ain't. Candy's not that girl. We're not afraid of Candy. Anyway, but that whole situation, it was nothing. I guess maybe in subsequent episodes we'll get more about it. It's the Courtney girl needs a way into the show, needs a way to try to, garner more, camera time. So I guess this is her way to do it. She come at Candy because Candy's an easy target, and we'll go from there. I don't know, child. I guess, girl. Anyway, back to Kenya and Sheree. So Kenya and tells Sheree, hey, I got this DM from Martell. Sheree said, well, hey, Martell, come over here. And then Kenya immediately tried to back off of it because, like I told y'all last review, Sheree got her ass. When Sheree said, nope, let me have Martell come over here so we could talk about it with him, Sheree had to come up off it real fast because she doesn't have any real receipts for what she's alleging. She's basically alleging that Martell was trying to get with her. That the only reason you say someone slid in your DMs is you saying that person was trying to holler at you, trying to get at you, sent you a dick pic, sent you, messages, said, hey, let's hook up or whatever, and she has no receipts for this. She never even opened the damn DM. So, like I said last review, you don't know what the fuck it said. So then, Kenya did have to tell Sheree, but it was more than 6 months ago. It was before y'all were together. Already backpedaling off of it, backpedaling and pussy popping. Now the energy, now that she's bringing Martell over here, now this did not go well for you, Kenya. I told y'all last review, she didn't think this all the way out. Martell comes over there and basically said, girl, what are you talking about? There's nothing to see here. When I'm in Atlanta, I spend my time with Sheree. All of this DM stuff, what are you talking about? I've never slid into your DMs. And he's right. Let's be clear. Sending somebody a message on Instagram is one thing. Sliding in the DMs is another thing. There's one thing if I send you a message in Instagram, because if I send someone a message and it's a, just a regular platonic message, hey, great picture, great post, whatever, hey, let's work together and do something. And it's real, platonic. It ain't nothing to see here. I'm gonna say, yeah, I messaged so and so. But by you saying so and so slid into my DMs, that has a whole nother connotation. A whole nother connotation. And that's why, Sheree, not Sheree, Kenya, you got this wrong. You didn't think this all the way through, sweetheart. So now, even if Martell was wrong, Martell has the upper hand. You don't have the upper hand at this point, Kenya, because you don't have any receipts. You have nothing. And you out here alleging things and insinuating and inferring things that you have no proof or evidence for. And you think that through the magical world of reality television, it's just supposed to just stick because everybody should know that Martell Holt ain't shit. And if I say anything even remotely fucked up about Martell, people are gonna believe me because of Martell's past. Now, granted, I don't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't know a goddamn thing about the Martell and his wife or whatever he did. I don't know. I don't watch that. But what I'm saying is, even all of that notwithstanding, if you're gonna make an accusation that he was trying to hook up with you or get with you or slide in the DMs, you need some evidence, and you ain't got none. So now Martell can just say, "Girl, what are you talking about? Girl, all your..." It's just like in court. If a prosecuting attorney asks a witness a question and finds that witness to have lied or told a false truth on one thing or one question, now that prosecutor immediately can call into question everything that particular witness has said for the entirety of their testimony. And that's what we have here with Kenya. Kenya, you alluded to that man trying to hook up with you and holler at you in your DMs, and that came out to be true. So now, why do I need to believe anything you say about him? And he knows that. And they got you. Even if you were right, Kenya, they got you. Girl, a mess. After that, we see later on in the party, the ladies kind of corral together because they want to sit down and talk and gossip and hash things out. Sonya saw the writings on the wall. Baby Sonya said, "Nope, not here for the fuck shit. This is my man's 40th birthday party. And what I'm not going to do is have you hoes have me around here carrying on and acting out of character with you bitches while I'm supposed to be hosting this 40th birthday party for my man. Nope, not going to do it." She exited stage left, chucked up the deuces, and exited stage left. I ain't mad at it. She was like, "I'm not here for the fuck shit today. Catch me tomorrow when it's not my man's birthday. I done spent 6 figures on this instead of spending 6 figures to put my sister out of my goddamn house. I done spent 6 figures in having this my man's birthday party. Baby, I'm not gonna let y'all ruin this for me." And she went on. So then all of these ladies, so you got all of these ladies together, they're talking, they're drinking, they're fired up, and so forth. And then now they want to call Martell over there to ask him about the DM. At that moment, I felt like it was an ambush. You got all of these ladies here drunk. They all, they all corralled up. They're all, amped up. They ready. They going for blood. And I'm sure Kenya was ready. Kenya. We'll get there in just a second. Let me tell you what happened. They call him over there. They say, "Oh, you said the DM." And Martell says, "What DM? This DM?" And he shows the DM. And I paused it. It said from August 9th, 2020, more than 2 years ago at that point. And it said, quote, "I appreciate the kind," and kind was in quotation mark, "words when you were live with the blank," and they, redacted or blacked out the person's name. Once again, "I appreciate the kind words when you were live with blank." Now, that's a very benign message. Now, some people are going to say, "Oh, that could have, if she would have answered, that could have led to something else or something that," but she didn't. And that alone is not enough evidence for you to be like, "Oh, well, he was sliding in my DMs." That's not enough right there, sweetheart. You have no receipts. That's very benign. And now you try to have a whole ambush because you knew you couldn't do it over there by yourself. When it was just you, him, and Sheree, you knew you didn't have enough evidence on your own. You knew you didn't have the backing to do, or to make any type of argument on this. So what did you do? You waited until you got in the company of other ladies who probably knew Martell and his history, and now you got battery in your back. Now you feel empowered by this, unity that you have with all of this, this group of women. Now you got all of this extra energy. Now you got the battery in your back. Excuse me. And now you're ready to pounce on Martell. Martell wasn't here for it. No parts of it. Because, like I said, this is not enough evidence for anything. This is not enough receipts for anything. And it was very much so an ambush. Baby Martell gave you everything you wanted. You knew Martell was not going to be here for it. Martell, call him what you want, call him a cheater or whatever, but Martell is not going to back down from the, like I said, I don't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, but everything I know from what the people say about Love and Marriage Huntsville and Martell Holt is here for all of the smoke. Now, let me say this, and they talk about this a little more at the end of the episode. You cannot sit there and start yelling at some man and expect that he's just going to be meek and mild and let you just fly off the handle and yell. You done been drinking, Kenya. You done been drinking. You done got, with all of your good girlfriends, y'all over here, they done told you, yeah, girl, get him, girl, because he ain't shit. Da-da-da-da-da. And you thought he was going to back down, and he said, no, bitch, let's do it. Let's get some. So if anything, it's a wash. Both of y'all, if you want to talk about what led to what, if anything, I'm more on Martell's side than I am on your side, Kenya. I'm just saying. I'm more on Martell's side than I'm on your side, Kenya. I'm sorry. Oh, you shouldn't talk to a woman like that. You shouldn't talk to a man like that. Oh, you being, oh my God, you being, you don't have to talk to me like that. And da 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 da. And here's the deal. Kenya gets triggered. That's what happens. Kenya has a past and a history that I don't know that she sat on a couch long enough to get past that. So now, anytime she's in the company of a man and that man gets in what she believes to be an aggressive stance, or his voice sounds aggressive, or his choice of words seem, in her estimation, aggressive, now she becomes triggered because of her past, and now she equates that man with what she experienced in the past, and that's not fair necessarily to that man. Moving on, because I could break that all the way down, but we're not going to do that right now. Moving on, at Drew's house, Drew finally decided she was going to collect a paycheck and decide she was going to be a part of this season. So she came home from Chicago. Her daddy's in the convalescent home, dealing with Alzheimer's. And what it sounds like to me, because she said, well, when he first went in there, he was walking, and it's, now he's in a wheelchair and so forth. And I've experienced Alzheimer's, and many of us, if you've had someone that is going through Alzheimer's, Alzheimer's is not just dementia. Dementia is one thing, and dementia is a part of Alzheimer's. It's one of the early stages. That's one of the first ways that someone has Alzheimer's, because there's the memory loss and there's the dementia that goes along with it. And people start to think that that's the only thing it involves. If you've been with someone and you've watched someone suffer with Alzheimer's, gradually it starts to, after the memory and stuff is gone, it starts to go to their body, and it starts to physically break down their body, where now they're withering away and wasting away. And it's a very sad thing to watch and experience. And so my heart goes out to her, because I know I've lived through it. I know, firsthand what that's about. So shouts out to her, prayers to her family and what they're going through with her dad. And so there, her and Ralph talk about her wanting to do music now. She done put out a single, and Ralph done produced it. Ralph plays piano, she sings, so that works great. She now, in one of the confessionals, they asked her, how are you and Ralph right now? And she says, oh, we're the best we probably ever been. That didn't age well, ma'am, because the blogs have already told us y'all are either on the cusp of divorce or already signing documents as we speak, but y'all ain't together no more, so that didn't age well. Anyway, then they talk about the party, the fact that Ralph found out that Courtney was his cousin. Child, I'm gonna go with it, but maybe I done been down to the Rainbow Coalition compound. But where I come from, your cousins. And A newfound cousin is code language for we fucking. Now, I'm not saying Ralph is fucking up. I'm not saying that he probably didn't necessarily, try and, dip his spoon in her sugar bowl and just said, and when people saw them talking, said, oh, yeah, that's my cousin. We just found out we cousins. 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 Child girl. Anyway, it's not far fetched. It's not far fetched. We then see Sonya and Candy meet up. They to talk and eat. Sonya says Ross told her these people got to get out of my motherfucking house, and I'm with you, Ross. Ross said, "Listen, baby, I love you down, but these people got to get out of my goddamn house." Then Sonya says her mom was even alluding to the fact that she's ready to leave and move back down to Florida. And her dad and her sister was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to move out too." Now the sister, you ain't shit. Because if you and your husband, grown ass husband with 2 kids, was ready to move out, y'all could have moved out a long time ago. Y'all should have been out that woman's house. But Sonya is basically says she doesn't want anybody to leave, and so now, Sonya, you're the problem too. That's why your husband have to check you all the goddamn time. Because my thing about it is this: what are you so afraid of? Like I feel like she's afraid to be by in her house with just her and Ross. I don't know if it's separation anxiety because with Ross always being out of town, it gives her someone, to talk to, or she doesn't have to be in the house by herself. Or if it's something different where maybe there's issues within the marriage, and by not having all of these people around, it'll expose or amplify their issues that they're having within their marriage. I'm feeling like it's one of those two. I don't know. But maybe that'll come out later. So then Candy says, she talks about her issue with Todd and Todd having too much to do. Girl, I wasn't here for it. I don't care. Nobody cares about this storyline with Candy. I said Tandy, huh? Candy and Todd and their relationship issues, them being too busy. Girl, I don't care. Sonya then talks about when she met up with Courtney and I believe Sheree. Um, and there was this whole conversation about Candy going to this exclusive or restaurant and putting it on her story, on her Instagram story or something like that. And then after that, a lot of people started to go to that restaurant, and it wasn't the right type of clientele that restaurant usually goes for. It was ghetto people from down there in Riverdale and College Park and East Point and all those areas. In the southern part of Atlanta. Girl, girl, Jones and Borough, and all them people down there in the little more urban ghetto areas. That's probably who tried to go, go to the restaurant and frequent that restaurant. They were like, "Who's these ghetto people that Candy done brought up in here?" So looking back at it, Courtney didn't call Candy ghetto. She said that the crowd that Candy attracted was ghetto. And so Candy got mad at Sonya because she said that Sonya should have defended her, and she ain't looking for no friends that ain't trying to defend her. A real friend would have defended her. And I was kind of with Sonya on this. Now, even though Sonya, you tried to backpedal and pussy pop off of it too, like you was scared of Candy or something, because you were like, well, I kind of, I think I defended you. Girl, you should have just came right. Girl, there was nothing to defend. She said the people you brought was ghetto. Girl, I don't have to defend you for that. Girl, I'm not here to defend. Girl, we only known each other. We only known each other for a hot second. You try to act like we've been best friends for the last 10 years. Girl, you won't be out in these streets windmilling for you. Now, I'm not saying you can't, defend your friend or you just allow people to talk bad about your friend. But technically, Sonya was right. She didn't talk bad about Candy. She talked about the crowd that Candy brought, which probably was ghetto as hell. Anyway, moving on. Candy and Todd meet up with fine ass Philip at Blaze. And baby, I don't even know what they was talking about for for the next couple minutes or so. I don't even know. All I kept screaming was, "Where's Phil? Where's Phil? Where's fine ass Phil? Oh girl, he fine. Oh, ooh, he's so fine. He's so fine. Ooh, ah. Ooh, that Phil know he fine. Woo, baby, the things that we would do with that good Phil. Sorry, y'all, I had to take a breather. Woo, baby, that's a fine piece of man. Anyway, and it doesn't hurt that he's over here down to the Rainbow Coalition compound. Sorry, ladies, he's one of us. Sorry. Anyway, even though I might have a little too much melanin for him, which is unfortunate. No, he's not with the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains, but he's into the Hispanicals and stuff. Anyway, moving on. Cousin Melvin comes over, and his arm is in a sling, which I really wasn't paying attention to because I was still fawning after Philip. But eventually, some dude comes over and was like, "Are we gonna address the elephant in the room?" And Todd is like, "Nah, bro, we can't talk about that shit. No, we still got lawsuits and investigation." And I'm like, "What the fuck are y'all talking about?" And then of course, Candy, in the next three breaths, is in the confessional spilling the beans. So we find out that the reason cousin Melvin's arm is in the sling is because one of the co-workers shot his ass. The co-worker allegedly came to the job drunk or something. Him and Melvin had words. The co-worker, had words with Melvin and shot his ass. Motherfucker, I ain't gonna talk about damn. These things happen at Candy Burris establishments. So this is why Courtney was probably right when she said you attract ghetto ass people. We done seen the caliber of people that work at her restaurants. These ain't the most, you know, these aren't the people that have the most couth. We watched Candy in the game. Anyway, outside of Phil, the rest of them, ghetto trash. Anyway, um, so that was that thing. We didn't see Kenya takes Brooklyn to meet up with Coleman's wife. Baby, I don't even know the woman's name. All I know is they introduced me to her as Tevin Coleman's wife. Now I know who Tevin Coleman is. He used to play for the Atlanta Falcons and was the running back for the Atlanta Falcons. I forgot where he at now, but I know he used to play for the Atlanta Falcons. He was their running back. Baby, I don't know your name. I don't know. You're gonna be Tevin Coleman's wife because when you went down this whole song and dance asking Kenya who she with right now, and Kenya was like, "Well, I'm with this guy Moneta introduced me to, but I don't know." And she was telling you, "Baby, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. What I can do is I can line up several football players, and we can take it back to our old days where we was just groupies for athletes and stuff like that. And so we can go back to our skankdacious hoe ass days where we could just skank it up and be groupies. Like are these the conversations that the women have in these circles where they're like, girl, don't worry about it. I line up a few football players. You just throw your legs in the air, let them blow your back out a little bit. Slob a little knob here and there, and let them teabag you a little bit. And girl, they'll drop off some change. Girl, they'll treat you right. They'll give you a good man to have in pictures and stuff like that. Because that's all you really care about, Kenya, is what it looks like and how you look in a picture. You don't really care about having a real man. Moving on, we did see Sonya and Sheree meet up, and Sheree and Sheree started to compare what Kenya was doing to Martell to what Kenya did to Ross when they went down to Jamaica. Where did they go? Jamaica? I think it was Jamaica last year. And I was like, because I said it last year. Kenya, calling Ross aggressive, and I was like, aggressive, and those are trigger words. Those are words right there that hold a lot of weight, and those are trigger words where you can insinuate or you go down a very dark and dangerous road when you use certain words and certain language and certain phrases that takes a conversation to a whole nother level. And so um and I agree Kenya this is not exactly the same, but it's in the same arena where she's trying to make something way bigger than what it was or had to be. So we then simultaneously see Kenya talking to Tevin Coleman's wife about the situation, and it just got out of control. And yeah, I wrote down that Kenya is easily triggered by men because of her past, and I talked about that earlier. And so you know even if you're easily triggered, you just can't just start yelling and blowing up at people and expecting everybody to just back down because you're a woman. Baby, that's not how this works in 2023. I'm sorry. You're not finna just be getting in people's face, yelling and screaming, talking about I'm a woman, you can't yell at me. Well, baby, you need to back up. Kenya, you're Kenya comes from the world too, being a pageant girl and being one of those girls where they are they're treated like baby dolls almost, where they're protected and they're allowed to do a lot of things and get away with a lot of things that they shouldn't do and shouldn't get away with, and have this layer of protection around them, and people saying, oh, you have to watch how you talk to her, oh, you can't get too close to her, oh, we're protecting her, when she might be out of order. And now you're getting around people who have status and, notoriety too. They may not be for the pageant world, but maybe they're not just gonna sit up there and take you talking to them any kind of way and thinking that just because you're Kenya Moore that they're not gonna be able to yell back at you. Baby, it just does not work like that. Anyway, moving on. Drew and Ralph meet up with this guy that was, I don't know if he was a producer or engineer or whatever he was at the studio. They talked for a little while. I ain't really care. I will say that Drew sounded, I love this song, Drew. It sounds really good. I like Ralph's accompaniment on the song. It sounds really good. Sounds like a cute song. Am I gonna download it? Probably not. But it was a cute song. Drew can sing. I will give Drew that. She can sing. She sounds real good. Then we get to Sheree at her warehouse. We're putting up quotation fingers for this is the warehouse or distribution center for she ain't really making nothing. She just, getting stuff from other companies and slapping her logos on it. Yeah. So while she's there, shout out to Kempire. Last week we had House of Aaron on this episode. This week we had Kempire. Shout out to the YouTube reviewers and all of us reviewers and people who review these shows that's getting some limelight and notoriety. Shout out to y'all. Anyway, YouTubers unite. um Kenya comes over, and so they eventually they start to discuss the confrontation that Kenya had with Martell. So Kenya says she doesn't know him and she doesn't want to get to know him. Sheree told us, listen, boo, I knew about the DMs even before Kenya told me. So when Kenya brought it up to me, that's why when she was like, oh, it was about 6 months, she was like, she knew it was more than 6 months ago. Because Martell, now this is, I'm just telling you what Sheree told us. Sheree says Martell told her about it when they first got together. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if Sheree's telling us any part of the truth. All I know is that's what she told us. And so, I mean, and I don't need to hash this out any further. But what I will say this, Kenya used another trigger word. When it was with Ross, she said the aggressive word. This time, she went even further. She said abusive and said abuse. And I'm like, wait a minute. How did we get to this place where now you're calling this man abusive? Now, I don't know if he's abusive to people on the Love and Marriage Huntsville. I've never seen Love and Marriage Huntsville, so I don't know what goes on Love and Marriage Huntsville. But of this situation right here, I don't know that the word abusive and abuse should be used here, because those are trigger words. Those are words that go down the line of criminal action. You have to watch your language here, Kenya. That's dangerous language. When you start saying someone's abusive and you start using words like abuse, you go down the realm of criminal intent, criminal action, and I didn't see criminal action here. That's dangerous. It kind of and it. Kenya used a phrase that a lot of people use, and it's one of my least favorite phrases. If you people who know me well know, the one thing I never want someone to say to me is, let's agree to disagree. I hate that. Baby, we're not agreeing to disagree. We just disagree. Period. Don't put no agree to disagree. We just disagree. I really hate when people say let's agree to disagree. I don't. It bothers me so much. And so I was kind of, once Kenya said that, baby, I was done. I was like, it's a wrap. That was the whole episode, y'all. Listen, I'm happy that I could be back at this place where I don't have to like Kenya. I don't have to pretend like she said the right thing or did the right thing. I don't care if her like that. Go somewhere, Kenya. I'm glad we're back at this place now. Thank you, season 15. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this episode. Let's get in the comment section and do what we do. Let's argue about what we saw. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.